Let's be honest, airline travel has gotten pricier, seats feel smaller, and comfort often seems like a luxury. But here's the secret most travelers, especially seniors, don't realize. Airlines actually have a list of free perks you can get on every flight. You just have to know how to ask. I'm not talking about some shady hack that gets you in trouble. I'm talking about legit insider benefits. Little extras the crew can provide to make your trip easier, smoother, and much more enjoyable. And the best part? You don't have to be flying first class or have any elite membership. Over the next few minutes, I'll show you 15 free things seniors can ask for on a flight that can completely change your flying experience. And make sure you stick around until the end, because the last one is a hidden airline policy most people have never even heard of, but once you know it, you'll wonder why you ever flew without it. 15. A better seat without paying a dime. Middle seats are, well, let's be polite and call them cozy. If you're a senior passenger, you don't have to accept being squished between two strangers for hours. Airlines often have unassigned seats, sometimes even premium seats, that they're willing to give you for free if you ask the right way. Here's how you do it. Timing is everything. Ask before boarding begins, when the gate agent still has flexibility. If you wait until everyone's seated, your options shrink. Politeness pays. A friendly smile and a respectful tone go a long way. Crew members deal with stressed-out passengers all day, so a pleasant interaction can make them want to help you. Accessibility angle. If you have a cane, walker, or just want an easier aisle exit, mention it. Airlines are required to accommodate reasonable comfort needs for seniors. And yes, sometimes they'll even bump you to an exit row or bulkhead seat. Extra legroom at no extra cost. One more tip. Avoid asking for upgrades during a rush. Instead, find a quieter moment when the gate agent isn't swamped. Your chances go way up. 14. A pre-boarding pass. Airports can feel like obstacle courses. Long lines, tight boarding areas, and that mad scramble when they start calling groups. But as a senior, you can skip the chaos with a pre-boarding pass. This perk allows you to board the plane before the general passengers, giving you extra time too. Find your seat without being jostled. Store your carry-on in the overhead bin before it fills up. Get settled without the stress of rushing. The magic here is you don't need a doctor's note or official paperwork. Simply tell the gate agent you'd like more time to board for comfort or mobility reasons. Most airlines are happy to say yes, because it also makes the boarding process smoother for everyone else. Pro traveler tip. If you combine pre-boarding with asking for a better seat, you can double your comfort without paying a cent. That means boarding first, picking an aisle or window seat, and having your carry-on right above you without fighting for space. And remember, confidence is key. This isn't a favor you're begging for. It's a common accommodation airlines are prepared to offer, but they won't know you want it unless you speak up. 13. Free extra blankets and pillows. Long flights can be cold, and not just a little chilly cold. I'm talking about that deep air-conditioned chill that creeps into your bones after hours of sitting still. Cabin crews keep the temperature low because it reduces the risk of passengers fainting and helps the body stay alert. But for seniors, it can make the entire flight uncomfortable. Here's the thing, you don't have to shiver through it. Most airlines stock extra blankets and pillows, but they rarely advertise this. How to get them? Ask early. The moment you board, let a flight attendant know you tend to get cold and would appreciate an extra blanket or pillow if available. Supplies are limited, and they're given out on a first-come, first-served basis. Be specific. If you want a second blanket for your legs or back support, say so. Sometimes they'll give you both without hesitation. Smile and make it personal. A small comment like, "I always seem to catch a chill on these long flights," feels friendly and human. Extra pillows aren't just for comfort. They're a secret weapon for reducing back and neck pain. Use one behind your lower back for lumbar support or under your arms to reduce shoulder strain. For overnight flights, double up on pillows to keep your neck in a better position and avoid that airplane crick feeling when you land. Here's a bonus tip. If the airline runs out, use your own scarf or jacket as a blanket and politely ask if they have any crew-only spares. Sometimes they'll grab one from the back galley, just for you. 12. Free hot drinks beyond the menu. Most passengers think their drink options are limited to what's printed on the little beverage card: coffee, tea, maybe juice or soda. But here's an insider secret. Airlines often carry more options than they list. If you're a senior or just a savvy traveler, you can request certain drinks that aren't publicly offered. Hot chocolate. Many carriers stock it for child passengers, but will happily give it to adults if you ask. Herbal tea. Even if it's not on the menu, flight attendants often have chamomile, peppermint, or green tea tucked away. Warm lemon water. Great for hydration and digestion, especially on long flights. Why this works. Most airlines have these extras for special cases: kids, dietary needs, crew breaks. If you politely ask, and it's not busy, they'll often oblige. Pro tip: pair your drink request with a smile and a thank you. Flight attendants remember passengers who are pleasant, and they're more likely to bring you refills without you even asking. Extra hack: if you brought your own tea bags or drink mix, ask for just a cup of hot water. Not only is it free, but you can enjoy exactly what you like without depending on their selection. 11. Assistance with carry-on luggage. Let's be honest, wrestling a heavy bag into an overhead bin is no one's idea of fun, especially in a crowded aisle with impatient passengers waiting behind you. For seniors, it's not just inconvenient, it can be risky. Shoulder strain, back injury, or even a fall could turn a dream trip into a painful memory. The good news? Airlines are required to assist passengers who request help with stowing or retrieving carry-on luggage. Here's how to make it smooth. Speak up early. As soon as you step onto the plane, politely tell a flight attendant, "I'd appreciate some help with my carry-on when I get to my seat." This way, they're prepared before the boarding rush. Lighten your load. Keep your essentials in a small under-seat bag so you won't need to access the overhead bin mid-flight. Be specific. Let them know if your bag is heavy or awkward to lift. This allows them to position themselves to assist safely. Pro tip: if you use a mobility aid or have limited range of motion, mention it. The crew is trained to prioritize passengers with accessibility needs, and they'd rather help than risk an accident in the aisle. Extra hack: if you're boarding early, using the pre-boarding option from tip number 14, you'll have first pick of the overhead space above your seat. This means your bag can be placed directly overhead, not several rows away, making retrieval at landing much easier. Bottom line: never risk your health just to put a bag away. The crew is there to help, and asking for this service is your right as a passenger. 10. A seat change for comfort. Sometimes, the seat you booked weeks ago isn't the seat you want once you're on board. Maybe you're next to a noisy group, stuck near a galley with constant traffic, or the passenger beside you is taking up more than their share of space. If you're a senior, you have a subtle advantage. Crew members often prioritize comfort for older passengers, especially on long-haul flights. Here's how to make a successful seat change request. Wait until boarding is complete. Once everyone's seated, the crew knows which seats are unclaimed. Ask politely, a simple, "If there's an empty aisle seat, would it be possible to move?" works wonders. Be flexible. You may not get an exit row or bulkhead seat, but a move away from high-traffic areas can make a world of difference. Pro tip: keep an eye on the seat map in your Airlines app before boarding. If you spot empty spots, you can request them as soon as you board. Extra bonus: if you've been upgraded for comfort reasons before, mention it casually when you ask. It signals that the crew is following a precedent, making them more likely to say yes. One important note: don't move to a higher class seat without permission. Even if business class is empty, switching without approval is a quick way to get in trouble. Always let the crew handle it. A seat change at the right time can turn a cramped, stressful journey into a comfortable and relaxing one, and it costs you nothing but a smile and good timing. 9. Special meal requests. Airline food gets a bad rap, and for good reason. Standard economy meals are often overly processed, high in sodium, and far from fresh. But here's the secret. Airlines actually offer a variety of special meals you can request for free, as long as you know how and when to ask. For seniors, this could be a game changer. Dietary needs change with age. Maybe you need low-sodium options to manage blood pressure, low-sugar meals for diabetes, or softer foods that are easier to chew. Most airlines already have these meals prepared. They just don't hand them out unless you've requested them in advance. Here's how to make it happen. Request when booking. Most airline booking systems have a meal preferences section. Choose from options like vegetarian, low sodium, low fat, diabetic friendly, or even gluten-free. Confirm before departure. Call the airline 48 to 72 hours before your flight to ensure your request is in their system. Board early if possible. Special meals are often served before standard meals, so you get your food faster. Pro tip: many special meals are prepared separately and tend to be fresher than the standard trays. In fact, frequent flyers often request them just for the better quality. Extra hack: if you didn't pre-order, you can still ask the crew after boarding. While it's not guaranteed, if they have extra special meals on board, they'll often be happy to swap your standard tray. Beyond health benefits, special meals can also add variety to an otherwise boring in-flight menu, meaning you actually look forward to your food instead of tolerating it. 8. Assistance during tight connections. Tight layovers can be stressful at any age, but for seniors, rushing through a massive airport with heavy crowds is a recipe for missed flights or injury. What most passengers don't know is that airlines offer complimentary assistance for exactly this situation. This can include a wheelchair service, motorized cart rides, or even an escort who helps you navigate security and boarding faster. Here's how to use it. Request at booking or check-in. You can note assistance required in your booking or mention it to an airline agent before you check your bag. Remind staff at the gate. If your connecting flight is tight, tell the gate agent so they can coordinate with ground staff at your arrival airport. Don't be shy. These services exist to keep flights running smoothly and on time. Helping you also helps the airline avoid delays. Pro tip: even if you don't usually use mobility assistance, requesting it for a tight layover is smart. It ensures you're among the first off the plane, gets you priority through certain checkpoints, and saves your energy for the rest of your trip. Extra bonus: if your connection is extremely tight, airlines may even arrange for a staff member to meet you at the gate with your boarding pass for the next flight, skipping the need to check in again. At the end of the day, connection assistance isn't about weakness, it's about strategic travel. If you can make your journey less stressful while also reducing the risk of missing your flight, why wouldn't you take advantage of it? 8. Assistance during tight connections. Tight layovers can be stressful at any age, but for seniors, rushing through a massive airport with heavy crowds is a recipe for missed flights or injury. What most passengers don't know is that airlines offer complimentary assistance for exactly this situation. This can include a wheelchair service, motorized cart rides, or even an escort who helps you navigate security and board. 7. Free comfort items you didn't know you could ask for. Think you have to suffer through a freezing cold flight or a restless nap because you forgot a blanket or pillow? Not true. Airlines often carry extra comfort items on board. You just have to know how to ask. Here's the deal. On long haul, and even some domestic flights, most carriers stock extra blankets, pillows, and even amenity kits that they don't automatically hand out in economy. These kits can include an eye mask, earplugs, socks, or a toothbrush set, all at no extra cost. For seniors, this can make the difference between feeling stiff and exhausted at landing and feeling rested enough to enjoy your destination. How to get them? Ask right after boarding. Supplies are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone. A polite request early on gives you the best chance. Be specific. Instead of, "Do you have extras?" say, "Do you have an extra blanket and pillow available?" Crew members are more likely to respond positively when they know exactly what you want. Check during quiet moments. Avoid asking during boarding rush or meal service when crew are busy. Pro tip: if you're prone to feeling cold, mention it. Crews understand that seniors may be more sensitive to temperature changes, and they'll often prioritize your request. Bonus: on certain airlines, you can also ask for slippers or footrests in long-haul economy. They're not always advertised, but if they have them, they'll offer them. Remember, you're not taking advantage. These items are there for passenger comfort, and they're meant to be used. 6. Priority assistance at security or boarding gates. Airports can be chaotic, especially at security checkpoints or busy boarding gates. The good news? Many airlines and airports offer priority assistance lanes for seniors. even if you're not flying business or first class. This isn't just about skipping a line. It's about making the airport less stressful and avoiding situations where rushing could lead to injury or fatigue. How to access it? Ask at check-in. Mention that you'd like priority or assisted boarding due to mobility, stamina, or health considerations. Look for special assistance signs. Many airports have clearly marked special assistance or priority lanes. Don't wait until the last second. If you approach the gate staff just before boarding starts, they're more likely to accommodate you quickly. Pro tip: if you've already checked in online, you can still ask for this at the gate. Just walk up with your boarding pass and politely explain your request. Extra hack: some airports have dedicated senior assistance desks, usually near the entrance, where you can arrange help for the entire journey through the airport. This can include wheelchair service, help with carry-ons, or even a dedicated staff escort to your gate. Why it's worth it? These services make travel smoother, keep you comfortable, and help you conserve energy for the actual trip. Plus, by avoiding crowded lines, you're reducing your exposure to germs and the stress that often comes with air travel. 5. Complimentary headphones and entertainment access. If you've ever boarded a plane only to realize you left your headphones at home, don't worry. You might not need to buy a pair at the airport. Most airlines carry spare headphones, and in many cases, they're free for seniors who request them politely. Here's what's even better. On certain carriers, these aren't the flimsy, one-ear styles you remember from decades ago. Some are decent quality with full stereo sound. How to get them without paying? Ask early. Flight attendants often have a limited stash of free headsets for passengers who need them. If you wait until halfway through the flight, they may only have cheap versions left. Pair with a smile. A friendly tone and gratitude go a long way. Mention the reason. Saying something like, "I'd love to watch a movie, but I left my headphones at home," makes it more relatable for the crew to help. But here's the real hack. Many airlines now offer free access to movies, TV shows, and music through their app, even without purchasing Wi-Fi. This means that if you have your own device, phone, tablet, or laptop, you can stream entertainment without extra cost. Pro tip: download the Airlines app before you get to the airport. Not only will this give you entertainment access, but you can also see real-time flight updates, gate changes, and seat maps. If your flight is long-haul, you can even ask if they have noise-canceling headphones for premium passengers. Sometimes, if there are extras, they'll loan them out to economy travelers who request them early enough. 4. Special meals at no extra charge. Think airplane food is one size fits all? Not anymore. Almost every major airline offers special meals, low sodium, vegetarian, diabetic friendly, gluten-free, and more, and they don't cost a cent extra. The catch? You usually have to request these meals in advance, often at least 24 to 48 hours before your flight. But seniors who forget can still sometimes get lucky by asking the crew after boarding. Why this matters for seniors? Special meals often come with fresher ingredients and simpler flavors, making them easier to digest. Plus, they're usually served before the regular meal service, which means you get your food earlier. How to request? Before you fly, log into your booking or call the airline to choose your meal preference. At the gate, if you forgot, tell the gate agent or flight attendant before meal service begins. They can check if any are available. Pro tip: the fruit platter option on many airlines is a hidden gem. It's fresh, light, and far less processed than the standard meals. Even if you're not a picky eater, asking for a special meal can make your dining experience on board much better, and all it costs is a quick request. 3. Extra blankets and pillows for comfort. Airplane cabins can get uncomfortably cold, especially on long-haul flights. Seniors are more likely to feel that chill, but the good news is you don't have to shiver through the journey. Airlines almost always have extra blankets and pillows on board, and they're free if you ask. The trick is timing. Once everyone is seated, flight attendants quickly gauge how many spare sets are left. If you wait until the middle of the flight, they might be gone, or worse, you might get one that's been used and returned. How to maximize your comfort? Ask politely during boarding while the cabin is still settling in. Request both a blanket and a pillow. You can use the pillow for lumbar support, not just for your head. Layer your comfort. One blanket over your lap and another over your shoulders can make a huge difference in warmth. Some airlines even keep higher quality blankets in business class. If there are extras and you're kind to the crew, they may offer one to you, especially if they see you're traveling as a senior passenger. Pro tip: if you have a connecting flight, return the blanket at the end of the first leg. Fresh ones are stocked for the next segment, meaning you can enjoy the comfort twice. 2. Assistance with carry-on luggage. Lifting heavy bags into overhead bins can be challenging and risky, especially for seniors. While many people hesitate to ask, flight attendants and even fellow passengers are happy to help when approached kindly. You're not imposing. In fact, most airlines specifically instruct their crew to assist seniors with stowing luggage when possible. This prevents injuries and speeds up boarding for everyone. How to ask without feeling awkward. When boarding, make eye contact with a crew member near your row and say, "Would you mind helping me lift this into the bin?" If your bag is especially heavy, mention, "I'm worried I might strain my shoulder." This makes the request practical and safety-related. Here's another pro move. If you're carrying valuables, keep them in a smaller personal item under the seat. Let the crew store the heavier or less important items overhead. This means you're not fishing through the bin mid-flight. Bonus tip: if you're one of the first aboard, using the pre-boarding perk we discussed earlier, overhead bins will be empty, making it far easier for crew or passengers to lift your bag without awkward rearranging. This isn't just about convenience. It's about preventing unnecessary strain so you can arrive at your destination feeling good, not sore. 1. Priority boarding. Even if you're not flying first class, most people think you need to buy an expensive ticket to board the plane early. But for seniors, there's often a quiet little perk hiding in the fine print. Priority boarding at no extra cost. Airlines know that rushing through a crowded boarding gate, juggling carry-ons, and finding your seat in a tight aisle can be stressful. That's why many carriers allow seniors to board ahead of the general crowd. No questions asked. The benefits are huge. You get first pick of overhead bin space, extra time to settle in, and the peace of mind of moving at your own pace. No bumping elbows, no racing for storage, no feeling like the last person at the party. And here's the trick: sometimes it's not even advertised. You have to ask at the gate desk. Politely mention your age, and in many cases, the gate agent will wave you into the early boarding group. On some airlines, just checking it online under a senior fare or senior profile automatically flags your ticket. Pro tip: pair this with a light carry-on bag and you'll breeze down the jet bridge with no strain and zero stress, while everyone else is still standing in a noisy, cramped boarding line. So there you have it. 15 free perks the airlines aren't rushing to tell you about. From snacks and drinks to better seats, extra help, and even little luxuries you didn't think you could ask for. These aren't favors, they're passenger rights. But here's the thing: perks only work if you actually claim them. Most people don't, and the airlines aren't going to shout them from the rooftops. The next time you fly, remember, you're not just along for the ride, you're a guest in the sky. And guess who asked get? Now, if you think these perks are game changers, wait until you see the hidden travel hacks that work for any passenger, no matter your age. I'll put them all in my next video right here on the screen. Click it now, and by the time you book your next ticket, you'll be the smartest traveler on that plane. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one. Airplane.